What's going on? Jake here with Uncommon EDC, and today I'm checking out the WeKnife Smooth Sentinel, which I got in the January 2023 Going Gear box. This was the premium item, but you can pick one up for right around $178. The configuration it came in with the Going Gear was this titanium with the JG10 inlay, but if you're not into JG10, there's other configurations available. For me, it's a material that I was super into when I first saw it. I picked up a few knives and the novelty kind of wore off, but I think it's really well done here. I think it looks nice with the titanium, relatively thin, so a little bit translucent, which I think is kind of cool looking. And it's on the non-show side as well, which is also really cool because this is a frame lock, but because that inlay sits on top of it, you kind of lose the disadvantages of the frame lock, which is the pocket clip sitting on it or you accidentally pushing on it so the blade doesn't deploy. It blocks that from happening, so you get a little bit of the best of both worlds. It kind of functions like a liner lock and feels more like a liner lock than a frame lock. Super smooth action on here. It is on cage ball bearings, and the D10's really dialed in. So there's only a single deployment method, which is that flipper tab, but it works really well and super snappy and satisfying. And even if you're trying to fill it, it's pretty difficult to do so. So even with the softest presses, it deploys most of the time. I've only been able to fill it once without blocking the path of the blade, obviously, but I've only really been able to fill it once, and that was trying to fill it. So really nice action on that. It's a pretty compact knife, so if you're into smaller knives, this one's really small, under 7 inches at 6.97 inches. The blade is also sub 3 inches at 2.97 inches. The handle measures exactly 4 inches, so able to get a nice, comfortable 4-finger grip on there for the most part in all of this kind of lighter duty cutting that I do. If I really tighten down on it though, it definitely creates a hot spot for me right where my pinky meets the pocket clip, and it's pretty uncomfortable when I really tighten down on it, so definitely something to keep in mind. Your hands may vary, hand size varies, and so might not be an issue for you, but for me it's definitely noticeable. That blade is a CPM 20 CV, nice drop point style blade, really thin profile on it, 0.1 inches at the spine, and super kind of slicey, nice flat grind on there, and like the stonewash quite a bit. It matches up well with that titanium. Out of the box, the factory edge was pretty bad. It's really dull, so definitely gonna need to sharpen that up before it goes into the rotation, but otherwise I like the blade profile on it. I think it looks nice and thin and slicey profile there. The handle's also relatively thin at 0.43 inches, so I think that's part of why the pocket clip's a little bit uncomfortable. It's a smaller handle and there's not really anywhere for it to hide, so it really does press there. 2.21 ounces though, so nice and lightweight both in the pocket and in hand. Really kind of well balanced, good feel to it, and really disappears, like I said, in the pocket and in hand. That pocket clip, despite being uncomfortable, I think looks pretty nice. It's full deep carry, tip up, and reversible, so both left and right-handed. No lanyard hole of any sort, so if you're someone who wants to add a lanyard, there's not a place to do that. But otherwise, I think a really great knife at a kind of tough price point, that $200 price point. There's a lot of really great knives out there. I'm not sure this is one that I would have necessarily picked up, although I'm enjoying it now that I have it. So cool knife. Only major downside for me is that pocket clip. The jimping's effective, pretty subtle looking but effective. No billboarding whatsoever. Obviously you have the Wii on the pivot, but really nice, sterile, clean looking blade on there. Pretty happy with this overall. Let me know what you think if you have one down in the comments below. Especially curious to see how other people feel about that pocket clip, if it creates a hot spot or if it's just my hand shape is kind of not made for this particular knife. But I definitely think it has a place still. It's definitely going to go with me on when I walk the dog in basketball shorts, joggers, sweats, that sort of thing, because it's so lightweight and small and deploys really nicely. Super fun and fidgety knife to play with, so we'll definitely get us pocket time despite that issue. But overall, pretty happy with this knife. But thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification button, and as always, hope you have a great one. Take care.